Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the DIY screen print tutorial. Alright guys, so the first step is we're going to prepare the kit, open it up, lay everything out. So let's get right to the kit and open it up. Open the kit up, lay everything out. Got our squeegee, we got our shirt, we got our gloves, spoon, ink, parchment paper we can put to the side. We're going to be using that later. Now let's move this box over. You got your shirt, and for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you guys how to print with the shirt. But when you're first starting, please use a test shirt. So find an old shirt in your closet that you don't like anymore, that you're going to donate, and test with it on that. And we always use test shirts first when we start printing as well. So make sure you use a test shirt first. So now that everything's laid out, ready to go, we're going to tape off the part of the design we don't want to use. We're going to take 2 pieces of paper and block off the design that we don't want to use and tape around the edges. So you could use painter's tape or masking tape, but whatever you have at home, and if you're going to use masking tape, make sure you wash it off quickly and take it off quickly as soon as you're done printing the design. And then you have to do the other side as well. Grab your piece of paper, place it over the part of the design that you don't want to be printed. Now we're going to be printing this design. This is blocked off so the ink can't get through. Make sure you aren't taping over or blocking off the design that you're going to be printing. Make sure the tape isn't too close to the design. So this is what it should look like. This part is blocked off. We're going to be printing this design. So just make sure the paper goes around the design and make sure the tape doesn't go over and touch the design. Alright, so when you're first starting off printing, what you're going to do, you're going to want to use a test shirt. So we have a test shirt here. And just grab a shirt you don't wear anymore, and we're going to be test printing. So we always do this even right here at the What a Funk Studios. We always start with a test print shirt. We don't want to mess up our nice What a Funk shirts yet. So now we got our test shirt ready. We're going to get a magazine or something to put in between the shirt because we don't want the ink going through. So find a magazine or something that will fit over the design completely. It has to fit over the design completely because we're going to be printing on it. And if the print goes over the edge, it's going to be all messed up. So it has to fit over the design completely. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we have our test shirt. We're going to put the book into our test shirt anywhere. It could be anywhere on the shirt. And then we're going to feel it, make sure that everything is flat. Make sure it's flat like that. And we're going to line up the screen. I'm going to show you guys how to do this right now. This is a little trick for when you don't have any equipment at home. You don't have a press yet. You use a book. This is how we started. You use your fingers underneath to feel where the book is. And then you lay the screen down. And make sure it's right on top of the book. And make sure it's right over the book. And this is how you're going to be printing. Then we're going to take our squeegee and then go like that, but I'll show you that right now. Once you put the screen down with the ink, it has to stay in that exact spot, so you have to make sure it's lined up perfectly. So now that we got everything ready to set up, we're going to put a piece of paper towel down over here to lay our squeegee and our stuff on, that way we don't make a mess. And now we're going to put on the gloves and get right to printing. I hope you guys are excited about this. I'm excited. We got our screen in place where it's going to be. It's ready to go in the spot that it's going to be printed on. Now we're going to open our ink. And the next step is to mix the ink. We're going to mix the ink in a nice safe area, not near the screen. Get it ready. And this is always an important step when printing. You have to mix the ink. Now we're going to lay the ink across the top of the screen. Make sure not to go over where the design is. From this side to the next side, and put a nice amount of ink. Start out with a little bit, then you can work your way and add generously. Alright guys, you're getting really close. About to have your first screen print ever. I hope you guys are excited right now. Alright, now your print is ready to go. You got it where it needs to be, right over where the book is. It should be aligned perfectly where the book is. You got your ink ready to go. You're going to take your squeegee and you're going to print. But first off, I want to tell you guys that if you're able to, have a friend or somebody to hold the screen down, applying pressure down while you're printing so it doesn't move. And if not, you're just going to have to hold it down on your own and try to make the squeegee go without moving the screen. So you just hold down one side and Here it goes. Here goes nothing. You just put your squeegee to the angle like this and apply some pressure. And hold the screen down while you're applying pressure. And there you go. Now you're still holding the pressure down. Put that right there. Let go of the pressure. Put your squeegee down. And now pick up your screen straight up. Make sure you pick it up straight up. And you're about to have your first screen print ever. Wow, look at that. Ready to go. Great job, guys. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys are doing amazing. You're ready for the What a Funk shirt. This is your first screen print ever. I'm so proud of you guys. And this is what the screen looks like now. This is what the test print design looks like now. This is water-based ink, so you gotta move quickly before the screen dries up and the ink dries up inside of it. So make sure you don't lay down this screen anywhere where you think it'll touch anything. So just put it up on something like this and try to be as quick as you can when you're doing this, or have somebody else hold the screen. This is always good as a two-people operation. So see how the ink goes through the shirt sometimes, and we don't want it going through the backside as well. So we're going to show you how to do it with the What a Funk shirt now. Make sure your shirt is ironed, no creases in it. And you're going to put this book where you want the print to be. So you're going to put the book exactly where you want the print to be. I'll show you right here. And this is great actually, because you get to see where your print is going to be and you can line it up perfectly. So the print should be right around here. You want the print to be like right around here. This is where the print should go on a t-shirt. Right around that area. Now it's ready to go. We're going to take our screen and make sure the design is right over that area. Once the screen goes down, it has to stay in that spot. You can't move it again. So make sure you do it right the first time. You only get one chance at this. So this right here is lined up in the center. So you just line this up in the center right there. You got your book ready. I showed you guys how to do it with your fingers. So now we're going to feel it out, feel where it's going to be. I'm going to send it, guys. Once you put it down, it stays down. So make sure it's ready to go. This feels about right. Boom. Now, if you need more ink, just lay some more ink down across the top. If not, that looks like a decent amount of ink. We may not need any more ink, but if you do, add some more. Make sure there's a decent amount up top. We're going to hold it down again. And make sure your squeegee is held at an angle, like this. Make sure you're pushing down pressure on the screen, and you're pushing down pressure on the squeegee as well. Here we go. As much pressure as you can, guys. There we go. And then we put it like that. This is going to take a lot of practice, so don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen on your first try. Alright, guys? This takes practice and time. I know we make it look nice, but you guys are going to have to practice. Now it's printed, ready to go. Now we're just going to lift the screen up, straight up. And there we go. There we go, guys. Wow, look at that. That is fire. So you could play with this. You could use this screen and print anywhere you want. Print it on shirt, print it on pants, print it on your jacket. Now what you have to do is let it air dry. So you could take the book out very carefully because it's very wet, guys. Very, very wet. So make sure you take it out very carefully. Make sure the shirt doesn't touch each other. The ink could go on the other part of the shirt. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. You're going to let this air dry or blow dry it. See, this is why we use the book right here. Because this ink goes right through and it could go through the other side while you're printing. So this is very thin ink. It's easy to use. That's why we get this ink. Because it's easy for beginners to use. We're going to let this air dry or blow dry it. And then I'm going to show you guys how to cure the ink so the design will never wash out ever. So this is your first What a Funk shirt printed by you. I'm so excited for you guys. If you guys have any problems or questions with printing, you guys could always reach out to me and I'll help you out any way I can, especially since you were one of the first supporters of ordering the DIY screen print kit. We're going to put this to the side, let this air dry. If you move this, make sure you pull it on the edges and are very, very careful to make sure the shirt doesn't touch each other and get ink all over. So make sure you're very, very careful. Spread it and then lay it flat somewhere. Nice. Perfect. So now we're done printing. You're all ready to clean up. Take your spoon and you're gonna save some of this ink because you know you paid for it. So why wouldn't we save some of this ink? We're gonna put it back in there. Take your spoon, just scrape the screen up like this. Make sure you don't let the ink dry in the screen because it can ruin your silk screen. So make sure you don't let this ink dry in your screen. Make sure as soon as you're done, you start washing up and getting things ready. So just scrape as much as you can off the screen, carefully, without making a mess. But it's okay to make a mess. This is art. And take the excess off the squeegee because all this ink is valuable. This is still good ink. We could still use this ink. So make sure you do this. We do this every time at the What a Funk studio. Save all the ink you can. Alright, close up the ink. It's okay to get ink everywhere. That's okay. That's part of the process here. Now we're going to bring this to the sink. I'm going to show you guys how to wash out your screen while you're waiting for your shirts to dry. And with the Silkscreen, you could print as many shirts and pants or whatever you want to print as possible. So keep going and keep going. But as soon as you finish printing, you have to wash your screen out. Otherwise, the screen is going to get clogged. Can't mention that enough because it will ruin your screen, and we don't want that. We want you to keep this screen forever. Alright, so now we're going to your bathtub at home or a sink at home, but I like to use at home a bathtub with a shower head, and that's the best way to wash it out. So make sure you're using not too high of a pressure, just a medium pressure, because you don't want to ruin your screen that you just got. So first step we're going to do is we're going to take off the tape, and like I told you guys to do before, take off your tape as soon as you can. Throw these papers out, the garbage now. You can leave the tape on the corners and edges of the screen. That's fine, it'll stay there. It might get a little loose, but no problem. You could always use masking tape, fix it up a bit if it gets messed up. So first thing you're gonna do is wash out your screen. So at home, you don't have the shower head. You're gonna use sink, and you're just gonna wash it out with soap and water. So we're just gonna wash out the screen, both sides. Both sides as clean as you could get it. Highly recommend to use a shower head. Highly recommended. So you do the same thing with the squeegee and the spoon. You could bend the squeegee a little bit, get it in the creases, make sure you wash out everything, make sure there's no ink left behind. There can be a little bit, you know, but try and get as much out as you can. This ink is safe to go down the drain. You'll be able to wash this out in your drain, your sink, your bathtub, and it's completely safe because it's water-based ink, so you don't have to worry about that. Now everything is washed out, ready to go. You're just going to dry the edges a little bit so it's not dripping all over, but you don't have to dry the screen completely. Let it air dry. The best bet is to let the actual screen air dry. So you just dry the edges a little bit, and that's about it. This is an optional step. You could always just let them air dry, but if you want to speed up the process, use a blow dryer. Test to see, make sure the ink dry. You could just pat it down like this, but you could actually see it's still wet or not. So make sure you blow dry it nice, make sure it's dry, and if you're gonna check, pat it down like that. So now that it's dried up, we're gonna get an iron and set it at medium. Wait for the iron to be ready. And now you're gonna take your parchment paper and place it over the design like this. And we're just going to iron over the parchment paper around 1.5 minutes, and then let it cool off, and then we're going to do it again for 1.5 minutes just to make sure it's nice and ready. So just do it like this. Keep going over the entire design. Make sure you cover the entire design. And it doesn't matter what material you print it on. Make sure you do this. Otherwise the shirt is going to wash right out when you put it in the washing machine or wash it. This is the most important step to cure the ink into the shirts. Alright guys, so you just printed your first What a Funk shirt ever. I'm so proud of you guys. Congratulations for getting through this tutorial, printing your own What a Funk shirt, and now you can print whatever you want. You've just learned how to screen print. Congratulations. This is the shirt that we made, and you could use the other design if you want. Put it on the back, put it on the bottom. You could put it anywhere you want, and you could print anywhere you want. That's the most exciting part of this. And now that you know how to screen print, you could go out there and do your own thing as well. And if you have any questions about screen printing, or if you had any trouble, just hit us up on Instagram at WhatAFunk. Once again, thank you so much for ordering the What a Funk DIY screen print kit. I appreciate all your support. I'm so proud of you guys for being a part of this journey and hopefully starting your own journeys as well. Thank you guys.